viewer says, as a fellow cyclist, are you as disappointed as I am in Lance's, she means Lance Armstrong, career failures? It must be disappointed, and then must cause you worry, I would imagine, that all of cycling could be tainted by that?
Well, I think there's a certain generation of athlete that was in danger of that, because you're looking at baseball, football, and certainly cycling. And that generation really had disappointed a lot of people. I think you see the younger generation now coming up. I know a lot of cyclists who came out of there are really working very hard to keeping the sport clean, and I think in the last 5 years they've cleaned up the sport remarkably. I think the best thing he could do is really confess the truth, let everybody know why and how he did it, so that we can move on. I think the more that the denial happens, the less I think it is for people to embrace him. I think a lot of other pro cyclists have come forward, have been honest about their experiences, why they did it, and what they want to do with the sport. I think you have to also look at the sanctioning body who allowed that to happen. So I think it's more than just one person. I think it was the overall mentality of the sport at that time. I think that has changed now. I think there are a lot of people who love the sport and will continue to love the sport. I think it's a phenomenal sport, and I do feel that the sport will get cleaned up after this, and this is a major turning point, and I think really good for young cyclists now that are coming up in the sport, both men and women, that won't have to do what these men and women had to go through, which is really quite tragic.
Now, it's you know, this may feel a little uncomfortable to even talk about it because it's so soon, but and I've seen pictures of you and Lance at events together for charity, for cancer. But, you know, Livestrong is going to need someone at the helm now since he's stepped down. Are you ready to possibly step in as a banner carrier for charity and cycling against cancer?
Well, certainly everyone is affected by cancer. It's a hideous disease, and I think Livestrong as a foundation has done great work and will continue to do great work. It's unfortunate what's happened with Lance in the last few weeks we've heard the news, but I think that foundation will continue. I think you should support that foundation to do a lot of great work. I will continue the fight for, you know, patients and development of, you know, I think the wellness centers are really important. And what we're trying to do is really connect with all the different wellness centers throughout the country. We don't treat the disease, we treat the person, and it's really important that that continues.